And away we go for the BettorCast Thursday Night Football preview presented by Fantasy Alarm. You can get the Fantasy Alarm All-Pro subscription by using the promo code WIN at fantasyalarm.com/win. He is Mark Malusis. I'm Keith Irizarry. It is Moose and Keith. It is Thursday Night Football. It is the Raiders hosting the Chargers. Your first reaction to this being the Thursday night matchup was what?
Yeah, not great. I mean, listen, it's two franchises that have a pretty good rivalry when you think about it. Two classic AFC West teams when two great uniforms, but two organizations that lately don't know how to get out of their own way. Whether it be the leadership of Mark Davis and the Raiders, and the firing of the GM and the coach, and room for Antonio Pierce to get that job long term, to once again, yet another underwhelming performance by the Los Angeles Chargers. And, oh, by the way, their franchise quarterback has now suffered a broken finger on his right hand and is done for the season. So the guy that makes everything go, whatever that is for the Los Angeles Chargers, and Justin Herbert is now out. So it's still NFL football. We're still going to watch. People are still going to handicap it. They're still going to bet on it. They're still going to get involved in the BettorCast right here tonight as we break it down and analyze. But not one of the sexier matchups when you look at Week 15 of the NFL.
Moose, there's a lot of times where, and I'll steal your phrase there, the sexy matchup. Sometimes the non-sexy matchups end up being really fun ones for the bettors out there, right? You can find your sharp angles and figure things out. I mean, you look at a Chargers team, right? No Justin Herbert, no Keenan Allen. Don't know what Austin Ekeler really is anymore. He has struggled a bit. And then on the Raiders side of things, like Aiden O'Connell is trying to prove that he is a real NFL QB. Josh Jacobs, who knows if he plays, on and on and on. There are storylines. So with all of that, let's get into some of the questions. So what about Austin Ekeler? We're going to set the over-under, Moose, at 48.5. Would you take the over or the under in this one?
Yeah, I'd probably take the over, even though Eckler has not had a great year. Fantasy players are kind of cursing the fact that he has not had a great fantasy season. They've not been able to run the football effectively enough. Staley has called out his job and the amount of touches that he gets. You've got Easton Stick at quarterback tonight for the Los Angeles Chargers. Like, if this is not a game that Eckler doesn't get a lot of love, not just catching the ball out of the backfield because he's been a dual threat, but also run the football, I don't know what is. I think you can run it on that Raiders defense a little bit as well. I take over 48.5 for Austin Ekeler.
Moose, I think it has to be over 48.5. I'm with you on this one. If the Chargers have any chance in this game, listen, maybe Easton Stick has a Jake Browning game, or has last year a Brock Purdy game, right? Like maybe he does things like that. My gut is if the Chargers find a way to win tonight's game, it's Ekeler goes off and the Chargers defense remembers that they can actually play defense. I'm going to go to Aiden O'Connell here. I'm going to go over 199.5 passing yards. I just think that when you look at the track record so far for this young QB, he's averaging almost 33 pass attempts per game, right, in starts. He's averaging about 215 passing yards again in starts. He threw for at least 205 yards in 4 games this year. And then the Chargers, they can be beat in the secondary. They've given up the 4th most passing yards per game, about 261, 262 yards per game. Also, by the way, the 3rd highest yards per attempt as well. So, again, on the Raiders side of things, we don't know about Josh Jacobs, so Aiden O'Connell probably needs to do something. Remember, get the Fantasy Alarm All-Pro subscription. You can unlock all of the content by just diving in. It includes NFL, NBA, and college sports, one-on-one access to the Discord. There's so much going on there.